Cordial welcome to the students of BA, BCom, BSc students. I'm R. Sucharita, Department of English, Government Degree College, Khairatabad, Hyderabad. So today I'm going to present the lesson that is vocabulary, synonyms and antonyms. So we are going to learn what are synonyms and what are antonyms. So you can see the slide, the picture, that is synonyms and antonyms. So first we are going to learn about synonyms. We all know that the English language abounds in synonyms, and that a synonym is a word or phrase that has exactly the same, nearly the same or similar meaning as another word or phrase in the same language. But have you ever wondered why there should be two or more words referring to the same thing? For example, is there any difference between buy and purchase, need and require, gift and present, understand and comprehend, and so on? So, to understand why there are so many synonyms in the English language, we have to look to the following, that is, the sources of English vocabulary, then the history of England, etc. Okay, so now we are going to learn about the English language, which is very important in our lives. As today, if we want to live in this world, English is like a breath. It is compared to the air that we breathe. So if we don't breathe the air, we are no more and we pass away. In the same way, English language, in order to survive on this planet, so we ought to learn, and every day we ought to improve the vocabulary in English language. So it abounds in synonyms, and that a synonym is a word or a phrase. So what is a synonym? A synonym is nothing but it is a word. Shabdamu anantam Telugulo. Okay? Or phrase. Phrase means two words. Word is a phrase, or more than two words is a phrase. So, what has exactly the same or nearly the same or similar meaning? That is called as synonym. If the meaning is exactly the same or nearly the same or the similar meaning as another word or phrase in the same language, so that is called as synonym. But have you ever wondered why there should be two or more words? Why only one word is enough to use the language, isn't it? So why should we have more than one word with the same meaning? So more words, that is but have you ever wondered why there should be two or more words referring to the same thing? For example, is there any difference between buy and purchase? Do you find any difference? Or do you find any difference between buy and purchase? Or do you find any difference between need and require? And is there any difference between gift and present? Understand and comprehend. Okay? So, to understand why there are so many synonyms in the English language, we have to look to these following. Okay, so the first one is the sources of English vocabulary. What are the sources of English vocabulary? A majority of English words come from two main sources: Germanic languages and Romance, Latin based languages. English is a Germanic language but has a large number of words from Latin and French languages. According to some estimates, 29% of English words have Latin origin. Another 29% have a French origin, and 26% have a Germanic origin. Words of Greek origin are 6%, and words of all other languages are 10%. What this means is that sometimes the original native word as well as the new foreign word both remain in use at the same time. For example, answer, Germanic response, Latinate. Ask, Germanic, inquire, Latinate. Begin, Germanic, commence, Latinate. Big, Germanic, large, Latinate. Similarly, help, Anglo-Saxon origin. 8. Old French origin. Weep, Anglo-Saxon, that means cry, French. Forgive, Anglo-Saxon, pardon, French. So, these are the sources of English vocabulary. A majority of English words, they come from two sources. I told you they are Germanic and then Latin based. It is also called as Romance. Okay, so the two main languages are Germanic and Latin, two basic languages. So English is a Germanic language, but it has a large number of words from where? From Latin and French languages. Many of the words in English language, they are borrowed from Latin and French languages. Then according to some estimates, they say that 29% of English words, they have a Latin origin. The basic word is, its origin is from Latin language. Like that, 29% of English words we have. And another 29%, they have a French origin. So if we take a word and if we investigate from which origin is it brought, is it Latin based or is it French based? Like that, if we observe, so like that, he told that 26% they have Germanic origin. So 29% we have Latin origin based words, and then another 29% we have French origin, and 26% we have Germanic origin. So this you have to remember. So words of Greek origin are 6% and words of all other languages are 10%. If you take some words, that is, they are of 6%. So they are from which origin? They are from Greek origin. And words of all the other languages, they are 10%. So Greek 6% you have to remember. Then what this means is that sometimes the original native word as well as the new foreign word both remain in use at the same time. So what does this mean? Sometimes the original native word we have as well as the new foreign word we have. So we have a native word and we have a foreign word, but both of them, they remain in use at the same time. So for example, answer, Germanic, it is response. Then Latinate, it is ask. Then Germanic, inquire, and then Latinate. Then begin, Germanic, then Latinate, commence. Then big is Germanic and large is Latinate. So, like that. Two words, they are of different origin. So, now again I'm going to tell you. In Germanic, it is answer, and in Latinate, it is response. Now, see, is there any difference between answer and response? They have a very similar meaning, very near it is. We feel they are same. And then in Germanic it is ask, and in Latinate it is inquire. Inquire. So ask, inquire. Both are same. So in Germanic it is ask, and in Latinate it is inquire. And then in Germanic it is begin, and in Latinate it is commence. So both are same, begin. And then commence, begin and commence. Both have the same similar meaning. So like that, begin is Germanic, and then commence is Latinate. And in Germanic it is big, and in Latinate it is large. We can say big, we can say large. So like that. So similarly help Anglo-Saxon origin. So a help we say in Anglo-Saxon origin, and in Old French origin we say aid, help. So this is Anglo-Saxon, this is Old French, that you have to remember. And then weep in Anglo-Saxon, then cry in French. Weep or cry, they are similar. So in Anglo-Saxon we say weep, and in French we say cry. In the same way, forgive in Anglo-Saxon, pardon is French. So both the words are similar. Forgive, pardon. So forgive is from Anglo-Saxon, and then pardon is from French. So these are the sources of English vocabulary. Now we are going to see the history of England. French and Latin words entered the English language because the English speaking Anglo Saxons were invaded and ruled by the French speaking Anglo Normans for a few hundred years. Similarly, as Britain colonized and or conducted business with other parts of the world, it adopted many words from the languages of those countries or regions. For instance, English words such as bungalow, court, dacoit, jungle, shampoo all have a Hindi or Urdu origin. So now we'll see the history of England. French and Latin words, how did they enter? So French and Latin words, they entered the English language because the English speaking Anglo-Saxons, these people, the English speaking people, the Anglo-Saxons, they were invaded and they were ruled by the French speaking. Okay. So Anglo-Normans for a few hundred years. And similarly, as Britain colonized and or conducted business with other parts of the world. So in the same way, the Britain, what did they do? They conducted business with other parts of the world. So, like that, it adopted many words from the languages of those countries or regions. Okay, excuse me. Now, see, for example, we are Indians. So, what happened before independence? British people, they came and they ruled our country. So, when they ruled our country, what happened? The influence of English has grown day by day in many parts of the Indian countries. Okay, so we have learnt many English words. Now, without, though we speak in Telugu or though we speak in our that is Hindi or our own mother tongue, without one English word, we cannot speak the language. Purely we don't speak Telugu or purely we don't speak Hindi. There is a mixture of English words. And in the same way, when you speak Telugu, what happens, especially in Hyderabad, when you are speaking or when you observe Telugu speaking people, most of them they speak with mixing Urdu words in them. They have that mixture of Urdu words and they speak Telugu language. We find so many Urdu words when they speak in Telugu. Okay, why? Because of the influence of the Nawabs who ruled Hyderabad. In the same way, here also Britain, it adopted many languages, many words from the languages of those countries or regions. So, for instance, here in English words such as bungalow, you know what is a bungalow? It is a building. And then cot, the cot where we sleep. And then dacoit. Dacoit is an armed robber. And then jungle is something like a forest. And shampoo, which you apply to your hair. All these, they have a Hindi or Urdu origin. Okay. So, bungalow is a Hindi word, isn't it? So, although it is common to say that synonyms are words or phrases with the same meaning, we must also appreciate the fact that words have shades of meaning and therefore one cannot be blindly substituted by another. Also, each word has a slightly different weight and therefore should be used as is appropriate to the context. A heavy word in a light context will make it meaningless. So, now although it is common to say that synonyms are words or phrases with the same meaning that we have learned. What are synonyms? Synonyms are nothing but they are words or phrases with the same meaning. We have seen so many examples. Now we must also appreciate the fact that words have shades of meaning. Of course, they may be same, but their shade is different. Now, for example, if you take a pink color or red color, in red we have different shades, and in pink we have different shades, in blue, like that. Shades, there are shades of meaning, and therefore, one word you cannot blindly substitute by another because the meaning will be changed. So, also each word has a slightly different. In each word, there is a slight difference that we have to recognize, and then we have to, when we are speaking the language, you have to fit the right word in the right time and in the right place. So, and therefore, should be used as is appropriate to the context. So, always The words which you are speaking should be apt, they should be appropriate to the context. And heavy word, heavy word in a light context will make it meaningless. So, according to the context, you have to choose the word and you have to utter, or you have to write, or you have to place it, or else it becomes meaningless. For example, a word like beautiful has more than 20 synonyms, but they cannot all be used as substitutes of each other. Beautiful is generally used for women, handsome for men, and good looking can be used for both. Pretty is a less than beautiful and is often used for children and young girls. Charming has more to do with manners than with looks. Gorgeous is a rather hyperbolic term and, unless used in the right context, becomes meaningless, and so on. Now you can easily understand what is written here in this paragraph. Now, for example, a word like beautiful, each and everyone knows about this word. Wow, she looks so beautiful, we say. So, this particular word, it has more than 20 synonyms, it seems. But they cannot all be used as substitutes. Though they have synonyms, but still they can't be the substitutes for the word beautiful. So, beautiful, it is generally used for women. That means she is a beautiful girl in that class, we say. Okay, so it is not used for men. Beautiful is used only for women. That you have to remember. Then, handsome for men. The word, he is looking handsome. He is a handsome guy, we say. So, handsome, it is meant for men. And good looking, it can be used for both pretty. Okay, so what is this pretty? Pretty is nothing but it is a little less than beautiful. Okay, so see, so many we have seen synonyms for beautiful, handsome, good looking, pretty. So pretty is a little less than beautiful. And where is this pretty? The word pretty is used. It is used for children and for young girls. Okay, so like that, according to the context, he said, that's why. When it is young girls and children, you can use this synonym pretty. And then handsome for men, beautiful for women, and then charming has more to do with manners. So, if she is good mannered, well behaved, then you can say she is a charming girl. That means the context is manners there. Then with looks. Okay, so that is the right word which is used, charming for manners. Then gorgeous, we also use gorgeous. Gorgeous is a rather hyperbolic term and unless used in right context. So hyperbolic means it is something like exaggeration. Okay, gorgeous. So it should be used in the right context, the word gorgeous. If not, it becomes meaningless. So, this is the introductory of the vocabulary, synonyms, and antonyms. So we have to choose a word every day and we have to find the synonyms of that word and we have to learn them like that every day. You should try as many words as possible as you have time. As time permits you, you have to take a word or choose a word and then find the synonyms of that and how we can use them in the right context. Like that, your vocabulary will be building. As you have vocabulary, so you will become a powerful person. So every day we ought to improve our vocabulary in English. So everywhere English is needed. Whether you go to Africa or America or anywhere on this planet Earth, nowadays they are going to moon too. So if they build houses on that planet moon, there too everywhere throughout the globe, English is such language that makes you powerful and to survive on the planet. So every day as human beings we ought to improve our vocabulary in English. Now some exercises are given in your textbook. Now see on page, if you have textbooks you can open and it is page number 14 and we shall try to do these exercises. Now see exercise number 1. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate word. An example is given here. She looked pretty in the fancy dress. And in the bracket it is given pretty delightful. So the right answer is she looked pretty in the fancy dress. Then the first one, the fill in the blank, which you have to fill it up. The china cups were brightly colored and dash. So in the bracket he gave you dainty bonny. So which one is the correct one? Dainty is the correct one. The china cups were brightly colored and dainty. Then disappointment was writ large on his dash face. His. So you have to focus on this word his. His dash face. So in the bracket it is given beautiful, handsome. So because it is his, it is handsome. Disappointment was writ large on his handsome face. Then the next one. The design on the hand-woven shawl was dash. In the bracket it is exquisite, ravishing. So the design on the hand-woven shawl was exquisite. Exquisite is the true answer. Then the celebrations were followed by a dash fireworks display. And in the bracket it is given spectacular, delectable. So the answer is spectacular. The celebrations were followed by a spectacular fireworks display. The sunrise at Kanyakumari is dash. Is it in the bracket it is given beguiling, gorgeous. So you can fit the right word, that is gorgeous. The sunrise at Kanyakumari is gorgeous, hyperbolic. Then the peacock is a very showy bird with dash plumage. In the bracket it is given resplendent, comely. So the peacock is a very showy bird with resplendent is the right answer. Resplendent plumage. Then the next one, each feather of the peacock is tipped with an dash eye spot. In the bracket, it is given iridescent or alluring. Which is the correct one? Each feather of the peacock is tipped with iridescent, IRI, iridescent eye spot. That is the correct answer. The handmade chocolates were dash. In the bracket, is it delectable or dazzling? The handmade chocolates were delectable. Delectable is the right answer. Then, the village by the sea offers dash shops and restaurants. The village by the sea offers dash shops and restaurants. In the bracket, is it alluring or admirable? So the right answer is alluring. Then the next one, Banaras presents a dash maze of narrow streets. In the bracket, status quo or picturesque. So Banaras presents a picturesque is the right answer. Picturesque maze of narrow streets. Then we have second exercise here. It is page number 14 in your textbook. If you open page number 15, then you can find both 15 and 16. We have this exercise. From the words given in the box, choose the most appropriate synonyms for the words in italics. So some words in each and every sentence, that is, a word is written in italics. So that you have to recognize and you have to choose a synonym which is in the box. Okay. Dog is a faithful animal. So what is this faithful? Faithful means in the box, if we find a word which is called as loyal. So faithful is the synonym of loyal, or loyal is the synonym of faithful. Then the second one, the man was old and looked frail. So the italics word is frail, frail. So frail means in the box, if we see, we get a word weak. So frail is nothing but it is weak. Weak is the synonym of frail. Then being courteous costs you nothing. So courteous. So what is the synonym of courteous in the box? It is polite. Polite, polite. Now go to the 16th page. You find the fourth one. So the huge mansion looked empty. So empty is in italics. So when you go to the box, you find the synonym of empty, that is vacant. VACANT, vacant. Then the fifth one. The police ensured that the street was safe. Safe is the word which is in italics. So if we go to the box with safe, we find a word which is secure, which is absolutely fit in the blank. Safe, secure. Then the next one. He was bothered by loud music. So bothered is in italics. Now we'll go to the box. We find a word which is called as annoyed, which is suitable or with the same similar meaning. Bothered is the synonym of annoyed. Then, number 7, the juggler's tricks were confusing. So, confusing is the word. Now, when you go to the box, we find a word baffling. So, baffling is the synonym of confusing. Then, number 8, the city was hit by a terrible storm. So, terrible is in italics. So, terrible means if we go to the box, we find awful. Awful is the synonym of terrible. A huge crowd has gathered on the momentous occasion. Momentous. So, momentous means it is, in the box, it is historic. So, historic is the right word. Then, number 10. This is an exhaustive list of synonyms. Exhaustive. So, what is the word which is left at the last? It is complete. So, exhaustive is complete. So, now we have completed the second exercise. Now we are going to see the third exercise. So, in each of the following sentences, identify two words that have a similar meaning. Now, for example, he gave you here the unhappy ending of the story made us all sad. So, we have to find two words, remember, in the same line. With these two words, they should have the same meaning. Like that, we have to do this exercise. The unhappy ending of the story made us all sad. Unhappy, sad means the same. So that is why both the words are underlined. Then, next, the first one. If I do my normal work, I will get my regular salary. So here the two words which you have to underline, that is the two words which have the same meaning is normal and regular. Then number 2, you throw the ball to the dog and it will toss it back to you. So there is a word throw and toss. Both the words underline. So both these words have the same meaning. Then number 3. You will find your way if you stay on the right path. Way, path. Both these words you are to underline. So way and path mean the same. Then number 4. The stunt man leaped into the air and jumped over the fire. So leaped, jumped. Both the words underline them, which have the same meaning. Then number 5. If you listen carefully, you can hear the bird's song. If you listen carefully, you can hear the bird's song. So listen, hear. Both the words underline, they have the same meaning. The gloomy day was marked by dark clouds. So gloomy, dark, both mean the same. So underline them. His hourly wages are much higher than my monthly salary. His hourly wages are much higher than my monthly salary. So, wages, salary, both words underline them and they have the similar meaning wages, salary. Then, the car's engine was noisy and the horn was loud. The car's engine was noisy and the horn was loud. So, noisy, loud. Both the words, underline them, they have the same meaning. The gang of robbers disappeared into the crowd. Gang, crowd. Both, both the words, they have the same meaning. So underline gang and crowd. Then the last 10th one. Tread cautiously when you walk in the garden. So tread, walk, both of them, underline them. Tread and walk have the same meaning. So with this we have completed synonyms. Now we are going to see antonyms. So antonyms. The counterpart of synonym is antonym. Antonym is a word or a phrase that has the opposite meaning to another word or phrase in the same language. For example, poor and rich, swift and slow, and so on. So, the counterpart of synonym is antonym. Antonym means it is opposite. Synonym is what? They are. So, the synonym is similar meaning. Antonym is the counterpart, that means opposite. So, antonym is a word or a phrase that has the opposite meaning to another word or phrase in the same language. It may be a word or it may be a phrase. For example, poor. What is the antonym of poor? It is rich. Opposite of poor is rich. So instead of saying opposite, you say antonym. Then swift, slow. Opposite of swift is slow, and so on. So now we are going to see the first exercise. From the words given in the box, choose the most appropriate antonyms for the words in italics. So again, we have the words which are written in italics in the sentences. So see them and choose the right word from the box and write in the blank. The first sentence is the fabric was very smooth. So, what is the opposite or antonym of smooth? So, if you go to the box, you find there is a rough. So, the antonym of smooth is rough. The desert was awful. So, AWFUL, awful. So, awful antonym is wonderful, which is in the box. Awful, wonderful. Then, monsoon arrived late this year. Late. Antonym of late is early. You can find it in the box, early. Then, on page number 16. on page number 16. The umpire's decision was fair. So the italics word is fair. So in the box we find the antonym for fair. Fair antonym is biased. Then the fifth one, his inaction shows his tacit support. So tacit. So tacit, the antonym of tacit is in the box. You find explicit. So opposite of tacit is explicit. When the government changed, his position became precarious. 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 Antonym of precarious is secure. In the box we find secure. So write down secure. Then seventh one. The teacher berated the students for their performance. So berated is the italics one. So the antonym of berated is praised. We find in the box praised. Then eighth one, the map is very inconvenient. So inconvenient is written in the italics. Inconvenient means, that is the opposite of inconvenient is handy. Then the next one, big cities are becoming famous for their pollution. Famous is in italics. So the antonym of famous is notorious. We find it in the box. Then the last one, 10th one. The leader expelled the new entrants. So expelled. Antonym of expelled means it is welcomed. So write it in the blank as welcomed. Now we go to the second exercise. From the words given in the box, the most appropriate antonyms for the words in the italics. The same exercise we have here. So find the italics word and then find the suitable word in the box and fill in the blanks. The first one, while more schools should be established, child labor should be dash. Established. That is in italics. So the antonym of established is abolished. That is the right word. Established, abolished, antonym. Then second one, when the army advances, the enemy dash advances. So advances antonym is a retreat. It is in the box. Retreats. Then only fools are dash. Wise people remain modest. Modest is the italics. So what is the antonym of modest in the box? It is vain. V-A-I-N, vain. Then fourth one, natural dyes are eco-friendly. Dash ones are harmful. So natural is the word. Now find the antonym for natural. So natural, it is synthetic. Synthetic ones are harmful. Then the next one, sometimes the lazy ones prosper and the dash ones suffer. Lazy is the word where we have to find the antonym. So for lazy we find the antonym diligent. Diligent is the word. Then sixth one, the survival rate of indigenous plants is better than that of dash ones. So indigenous is the word. Now the antonym of indigenous is exotic. EXOTIC. Then seventh one. Many former heroes now live in dash. For public memory is short. Memory. The word memory we have to find an antonym. So memory is oblivion. Oblivion. Antonym. Then the eighth one, statistics are often used not to reveal but to dash the truth. So reveal is the word which is in italics where we have to find out the antonym. Reveal. So in the box we find conceal. Reveal, conceal. Opposite of reveal is conceal. Then although marketed as fresh, the vegetables are pretty. So fresh. So what is the antonym of fresh? Stale is given in the box. Stale. So write down stale there. STALE. Then the last one. Neither defeats nor triumphs. Neither defeats nor triumphs should affect us. Neither defeats. So defeat is the word which is in italics. So the antonym of defeats is triumphs. So triumphs. So with this we complete